Devotion for this week comes from the second part of Romans 4:17. The God who gives life to the dead and calls things that are not as though they were. If you have ever worked with couples before, then you've probably heard this: I just don't love her anymore. Those words can mean a lot. They can mean that the relationship is completely finished. The person isn't going to listen to one word that you or his or her spouse has to say. Or you might see a couple who complains that they don't feel like they love each other anymore, but they want some help. Maybe they are willing to try something. There's an idea in couples counseling called acting as if. Love is not just a feeling word, it's an action verb. Just like faith is followed by and accompanied by action, so too does love go along with actually doing something. So you aren't feeling like you love your husband. Well, what have you actually done to show him that you love him lately? Try acting as if you love him for a few weeks. Leave him little notes, make him his favorite breakfast, give him hugs. Studies actually show that acting as if you feel something is often followed by the feeling too. This can work outside of marriage too. Maybe you are feeling down today and don't feel like getting out of bed. Mild forms of depression and the winter blues hit everyone at some point in their life. So why not act as if you feel full of life and energy? Get out of bed, go for a walk, get some sunshine, have a good breakfast, call a friend even if you don't feel like it. If I was a betting woman, I would wager that many times this acting as if will be followed by some better feelings too. Or what about this? Maybe you don't feel like worshiping God today. Maybe you don't feel like reading His Word or being a servant. That's okay. God seems to be okay with our blah feelings. His Word seems to show us in several places that our actions, thoughts, and emotions are all intricately connected. Romans 4:17 is just one example. It tells us that God is the God who gives life to the dead and calls things that are not as though they were. This is not name it and claim it religion. This is about attitude. This is about how a secular and scientifically studied idea is biblical truth lived out. Isn't it funny how often what science ends up discovering works was in Scripture all along? I want to be one of God's people. I want to be one who helps God give life to the dead and call things that are not as though they were. I want to help God bring joy to dry bones, including my own. I'm certain you and I both will have the opportunity to live this out very soon.